ladies and gents, welcome back to math. Today, you and I are going to practice using inches, feet, and yards to do some measurements. So let's go watch our visual learning video to get us started.
You can use a ruler to measure length. What units are shown on this ruler? Inches. What is the length of the paperclip? The length of the paperclip is about 1 inch. The book is about 1 foot. 1 foot is 12 inches long. What other objects are about a foot long? Some other objects that are about a foot long are a doll, a plate, or a school binder. You can use a yardstick to measure length too. The bat is about 1 yard. A yardstick is 3 feet or 36 inches long. What objects are about a yard long? Some objects that are about a yard long are a poster, a small table, or a medium dog.
Let's check it out. It says choose a reasonable estimate of each object's length. Place the estimate next to the object. So remember, estimate means a good guess. So let's see, a dinner plate. Well, a dinner plate is bigger than an inch, but it's definitely smaller than a yard. So I'm going to say 1 foot. A postage stamp I know is much smaller than a foot and much smaller than a yard. So I'm going to say 1 inch. And a medium dog is much bigger than a foot, but probably about the size of a yard, not any bigger. So I'm going to say 1 yard. Those are my estimates.
You can use a measuring tape to measure inches, feet, or yards. What unit is shown on this tape measure? Inches. Are these inches the same size as inches on the ruler? Why?
Yes, they are, because every inch on any ruler or measuring tape are the same, so we can use them to measure different objects and get the same amounts, same lengths and heights and widths.
Yes, an inch is a standard unit of length. It is always the same length, no matter which tool is used to measure. So, should an object measure the same number of inches if measured with a ruler or a measuring tape?
Yes, it should.
Yes, it should be the same. Now you know how to use inches, feet, and yards to measure lengths.
Let's estimate and measure.
Okay, let's go get some practice. Okay, we're going to start on page 706 in our workbook. So if you need to go get your workbook and a pencil and turn to page 706, then go ahead and pause me now. And when you're ready, we're going to do these 3 guided practice problems here. So it says match each object with a reasonable estimate of its length. So we have a hammer, a paperclip, and a window. Okay, let's think. We know a paperclip is pretty small, right? So would you say it's a yard, an inch, or a foot? I'm going to go with an inch, about 1 inch. It's pretty small. So I'm going to draw a line between the paperclip and the inch. What about the hammer? Well, it's bigger than an inch, but is it like 3 feet? Is it like a yard? No, that'd be a really big hammer. So I'm going to say it's about 1 foot. And then a window is bigger than a hammer, so it'd be bigger than 1 foot. So I'm going to say it's about 1 yard. Nice. We're going to watch one more quick video and then do some more estimating and measuring.
Hi, let's do some measuring. To measure the lengths of things, you can use a ruler, like this one right here. And here's a paperclip. Place it against the ruler, and we see it's about 1 inch long. This hammer right here, put it against the ruler, and it's about 12 inches, which is the same as 1 foot. And this window, it's going to be pretty big, so let's measure it using a yardstick. It's good for measuring things longer than a foot. It looks like it's about 36 inches, which is the same as 3 feet long. And 3 feet is the same as 1 yard. So, using rulers and yardsticks, you can easily measure in inches, feet, and yards.
Let's get some more practice. Let's turn the page. We're going to do number 4 together. It says estimate the length of each object. Then we're going to choose a ruler, a yardstick, or a measuring tape to measure with, and we're going to measure the object, okay? And I know you probably don't have a yardstick, but that's okay. We can use our rulers that we have, either the paper one, or if you have a real ruler, you can use that too, even for the yards. So let's see. First one for number 4, we have a pencil. Well, if I was going to estimate the length of the pencil, I'm going to say it's probably about 6 inches long. I know it's not in feet and I know it's not huge, so I'm going to say about 6 inches. And then I'm going to pick which tool I should use. Should I use a ruler, a yardstick, or a measuring tape? What do you think? I'm going to say a ruler because this is a small object. So ruler. And now I'm going to use my ruler that I have. I'm going to use my paper one, and I'm going to put the eraser at the 0 at the beginning, and I'm going to see how many inches it is. My pencil is almost exactly 7 inches long. So when I measured it, it was about 7 inches. You're going to do number 5. So I want you to think about the size of a table. It could be like the table that you're sitting at, or maybe your dining room table, completely up to you. I want you to estimate how many feet you think it is, and then pick a tool. Do you think it would be smart to use a ruler, a yardstick, or measuring tape? And then I want you to try and measure it and see what you get. Okay. I'm going to look at the table that I'm sitting at. It's not super big, but it is a couple feet long for sure. I'm going to estimate that it's about 4 feet long. And if I use my ruler, I can go end to end. So I can put one ruler and then I can put my finger down and I can move it like this, okay, until I get to the end of my table. And I can count how many times I do that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. My table is about 4 feet long. Now, I could say that I used a ruler, but if we had all of our tools, it would probably be smarter to use a measuring tape for this because we know that it's bigger than 1 foot. So I'm going to say that a measuring tape would be the best tool for us to use. And of course, right now we might not have that, but if we did, that would be the best tool. Measuring tape. Because a measuring tape can show us things that are up to like 16 or 30 feet long, which is pretty cool. Let's go ahead and we're going to go down and do number 7 together. Okay, number 7 says, explain how you could use a foot ruler to measure the length of a room in feet. So how could we use a normal ruler like this one or your paper one to measure a whole room, like the length of the room? Guess what? It's going to be the same kind of way that I showed you how to measure my table using just a ruler. We're going to have to put it end to end. So we're going to write this out. This is our procedure for how to use a ruler to measure something big like the room. So I'm going to say start at an end, make a mark for 1 foot, move the ruler to the mark, measure a 2nd foot. Keep going until you get to the end of the room. Then count how many feet it was. Okay, so just like that, you can use a ruler and you can put it down and make a mark for the end of the ruler for 1 foot, put it at the mark, make another mark, keep going all the way until you get to the end. We're going to turn the page and do one last problem. Okay, you're going to do number 8. Let's read it real quick. It says, circle the real object that is about 4 feet in length. So I want you to look at these and decide which one you think is about 4 feet long. So pause me, think about it, maybe look at your ruler to help you, and then I'll come back and we'll talk about which one it is. Okay, let's look. So I'm going to go through here and pick out the ones that I know are not 4 feet long. So a car I know is much longer than 4 feet because 4 feet is pretty small, but it's also not as small as a screw though either, because a screw is almost like an inch, so that would be teeny tiny. So I know it's not a screw and I know it's not a car because those are too big and way too small. And then I have a pumpkin. Well, I don't know about you, but I have never found a 4-foot long pumpkin. That'd be crazy. So I'm gonna say it's definitely not a pumpkin. A pumpkin is more like 1, maybe 2 feet long. So that leaves me with a bicycle, which makes sense because if you have a bicycle, it's probably about 3, maybe 4 feet long. So that's gonna be the object I'm gonna pick. Nicely done, you guys. Let's take a peek at that homework for today. Okay, so here's your homework, friends. I want you to go back into the workbook on the pages we were just on, page 707, and do number 6, number 9, and number 11 to get some more practice, and then do that quick check for us. And after that, spend whatever time you need to on Math Facts Pro and iReady Math, that whatever your teacher has told you to do for it, okay? I'll see you again back here tomorrow, friends. Bye.